It's already spring. I finally got here in the Netherlands, and it's a beautiful day. I am really inspired to start sewing dresses. I have been gathering images of patchwork dresses and other type of dresses for the spring for me to start sewing. They are so beautiful, I just wanted to share them with you. What I wanted to see was to see if I can find references of dresses that have been designed and made with a patchwork look focus, because I have a whole bunch of fabric and I just wanted to get on and sew it. If it's one thing you've noticed from my videos is that I love patchwork. So I've decided that this spring summer I'm going to be making some beautiful patchwork dresses that are on another level. I'm going to be making dresses that are beautiful to look at, very comfortable to wear, but actually quite luxurious. Sometimes people think about patchwork as in a crafty, lesser crafty aesthetic. I am gonna prove that patchwork is very much in vogue, and it has been for many, many years. Many designers, luxury designers, have been making beautiful patchwork dresses that we don't even realize they are patchwork. One of the easiest dresses to make with patchwork is the tier dress. You can have a bodice that is like very summery with just like a little vest and stripes. I have a top that I made not long ago with patchwork fabrics, and this is what imprinted this video, because I wanted to actually make longer dresses, not just summery, but also from the spring. So putting some lovely sleeves, making the bodies of different heights. So there's so much variation, you can do so much. One of the easiest dresses that you can make with patchwork is the tier dress. Let's say you use the skirt, and each tier you could use one piece of fabric. So if you have some remnants, like larger remnants, like 1 meter, or even pieces of fabric that is like quarters, if you're a quilter, you will have fat quarters. If you have some of that, you could patch it all together and make the tiers. So you can make each one of the tiers in a different color, or you can make each tier of a similar colors and make them down. There's many designers that have done this, and I will be popping images of this. And this is a fantastic thing to do, because if you're a sewist, and chances are if you're watching this video, you are a sewist, so you must have bins full of scrap fabrics. You can have smaller pieces or larger pieces. You might have ordered it by colors, you might have ordered it by type of fabric. I do both. I order by type. I like all my cottons in one way and wools on the other. And I don't mind mixing cotton and linen, and sometimes viscose, but mostly cotton and linen. And then I organize them by color. If you do that, you could really have like a bunch of already selected products that you could use. So the way of looking at it is not, this is a waste, this is the end of that piece of fabric. The way of looking at it, or the way I look at it, is that that's my resource bin. And then I get the colors and put colors together and trying to make a piece of fabric. The chances are that you can make something really interesting. I'm going to show you some designers, how they use patchwork in a very clever way that you would think is a design feature, but actually you could use the same design feature to make beautiful dresses with very little pieces of fabric. There are other designs that are very clever. You could see some designers have chosen like a color scheme. So they do, let's do blues, because that's what I like. I have pulled out some inspiration of some designers that have done like the sleeves of a matching fabric and maybe the bottom of the skirt of the dress, but then using either 2 or 3 other fabrics to do the bodice and the rest of the skirt, the belt or whatever trimmings or whatever decoration that you might have in the dress. There are other designers that choose to do like symmetry. So if you have a little piece of fabric, trying to create a piece of fabric that is symmetry to a center. So let's say the center of the bodice will be one color, and then you keep on attaching the pieces of fabric on the other sides of that piece that you have. So you create like a symmetry of a piece of fabric. It looks like you have chosen to do it like that, but actually if you decontrast the bodies and decontrast the design itself, it's actually very small pieces of fabric that have been put together. That is normally if you want to make it like really streamlined and designed where each piece of fabric is gonna go. I personally love my crazy patchwork. I love picking up pieces of fabric, and the way I do it is I mostly choose like a color scheme. So I go through colors that would go beautifully together. So let's say blues and whites, or greens and blues, or pinks and greens, or yellows and oranges, and orange and pink, colors that they will go nicely together. And then from there you can start building up your fabric. And once you've got your fabric, you can cut your dress. But you can also just simply put it all together and put the pattern, just set the pattern on top of whatever fabric you've created, and create something a little bit more random, and it's quite nice to the eye. Both ways of making the dresses will work beautifully, and it produces really, really interesting results. I think there's two aspects that you should focus on when creating one of these dresses. So you either go for a color scheme for the dresses, the pieces of fabric. So you could use just one color scheme and then go ahead and patch up as many pieces of fabric you want. But then I think the shape, and this is the second aspect of the design, the shape of the dress should be a little bit sharper. So if you, for instance, think about the patchwork that Dolce & Gabbana does, obviously they are very well known for couture and the tailoring, and just the fit is amazing, and the very feminine shapes and silhouettes that they do. But if you look at the patchworks that they do, the patchworks are quite chaotic. They are quite mismatched prints that you wouldn't think of putting together. But the line is very sharp, it's very clean, it's very feminine, it's beautifully done. So I think you should choose one or the other. This is how I'm gonna go for it. I'm either gonna do crazy patchwork, which is my jam, and a very sharp silhouette, or you could have a much looser silhouette with a little bit more planned patchwork. Exactly where you're going to put your pieces. I like the idea of the symmetry. So I like the idea of starting from like the center, like a smaller piece in the center of the dress to be one color, and then you kind of go out like that. Or you could do it like in a diagonal, or you could choose to create a piece of fabric, then cut in half, and then put a solid on, sew a solid part, and then place your pattern in a way that you could catch some of the patchwork and some of the solid. Sometimes we're going to the fabric shop. If you were lucky enough to go to the shop and find out the remnants where you can get different colors of a similar fabric, or you can get the same fabric in not quite the same colors, so long as you get like a meter or a yard or something similar like that, you could actually put it together and make like a very luxurious dress. I have a picture that really made me think about this. And it's like, you know, sometimes you go and you pick like a meter and a half, and you think, oh, what am I going to do with another top, another tiny top? Actually, no. Put them together and you might get 4 different pieces, and you might make quite a stunning, beautiful dress with a full skirt or full sleeves or both. So long as you are a little bit clever about how to combine those fabrics, whether you are going for the same color scheme or the same type of fabric, you could really make something quite luxurious just with the remnants. I've already have a video on designers that I really love that upcycle tablecloths and other vintage textiles. I put the link below. But one thing that I really want to try this spring summer is to pick some of the my embroidery tablecloths and see how I can put the embroidery on the bodice or the sleeve or part of the skirt on a dress, but at the same time mix it with some other cottons and mix it with some other pieces of fabric and trying to make something quite luxurious. I'm really excited to start on all the pieces of fabric that I have been gathering and I have been thrifting. I'm going to be making yardage somehow of fabric that is being patchworked together, and then from there I'm going to be using to make some lovely dresses. So I hope you enjoy all the inspiration that I've put in this video, and I hope you come to see what I'm going to do next. I'm already working in some of it, of course. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.